I created a clone of myself who knows everything. It's trained on my entire knowledge base: sales calls, client updates, marketing strategies, product roadmaps, internal processes, literally every detail about my company. Now, whenever someone on the team needs information from my side, they can just ask my clone and it gives them the exact insights that I would give. Here is how I created it. We automated the entire process using N8. We designed a custom GPT that acts as my clone. Just upload a document, file, or image to Google Drive. This agent extracts the content, processes it, and stores it in Pinecone as vectors, making the information searchable and instantly retrievable. Next comes the analyzing and answering agent. Whenever someone asks a question to GPT, this agent interprets the query, cross-checks it against the stored documents in Pinecone using embedded software, and then collaborates with GPT to generate a precise, context-aware answer. Now, let's see how we can create this AI agent using N8. As you see here in the scenario, we have two workflows developed. The first one is to watch for new files added in Google Drive folder and then feed to the Pinecone database. And the second one is basically a communication scenario, communication workflow where we maintain the interaction between the custom GPT and Pinecone. So that's what you see below. So let's go to the basic setup. In the basic setup, okay, I have opened Pinecone. Here, let's go and we have to navigate to database, and here we have an option index. And in index, we go and create a new index. So let's go and click create index. So this is the first step in Pinecone. So creating an index where our data will be stored. So I'm putting a name on Jahar database, and then I'm selecting the configuration as test embedding 3 small. So test embedding 3 small is the configuration selected, and let me click on create index and make sure you follow you note down the dimension over here. So we have the dimension 512 selected. You can go for a higher dimension if you have very large chunks of data. So I'm going with 512 and then click on create index. So our index is getting created. All right. So our index is created now. And now let's go to the Google Drive folder. Here the idea is very simple. The knowledge based documents you have, just drop it here. Or you go for a meetings and you have the meeting summaries, transcript or recordings, you can simply drop it over here so that our Pinecone, our database, the vector store will become more and more stronger with our own knowledge base. So our AI brain will feed into this vector database and it will become stronger to answer like us. And that's a whole idea over here. Now let me tell the action happening over the Google Drive folder. So I had dropped a file over here. So you can see it's simple. It's an M-score knowledge database. Whatever I have dropped, it's loading. So you can see it talks about us, our phone number, then some of the social media platforms, then what we do, our services, etc. So let's go to N8 and see the action. So in N8, first we go. Here you can see it's very simple. We started with the Google Drive trigger to watch for the file added in Google Drive. Here you can see I have selected the trigger changes involving a specific folder, and I've given the folder name. So our folder name is Pinecone agent. You can name it properly, yeah. And then we have everything ready. So let me click on fetch test event. So it will test this file. All right, so we got the file. You can see the file. So this file name is M-score knowledge database. So let me see where it's mentioned. Yeah, so you can see the file name M-score knowledge base 2.dockets is there. And now the next step is to download the file. So we are downloading the file so that we can easily feed it to Pinecone vector database. So we are downloading it using download file module. So let me click on this node. So here again we have to add connections and select the operation as download, and we will map the ID, the file ID that comes from the first node, that is Google Drive trigger node, and that's it. So we have this getting downloaded. I'll just trigger and show you. executing the step. So you can see the file is there, the type and its size has been reflected. And now comes the major part where we are connecting Pinecone vector store. It's very simple. You can search Pinecone, see, and you have to select the option. So here we are adding the documents to vector store. So once you add it, like just click on this. So here the first step is adding the credential, which is very easy. So you can click over here, and in the connection you can see we need to feed the API key. So you can find the API key in Pinecone by going to API key section. So going to API key, you can go and click on create API key. So that's very simple. So once the connection is ready, you can see the operation mode. Here you need to select insert document. Why? Because we are inserting the document from, I mean, the whatever the document that comes in Google Drive, whatever we drop in is fed, or we are feeding this to Pinecone. So we have to go with the option insert document, and then you have to select the right Pinecone index. So I'm selecting whatever we created, Jahar database. So Jahar database has been selected, and you can provide an embedding batch size as 200. So this is the number of documents to embed in single batch. So this is the, it's the same concept as we explain in the basics of prompting. Like, in prompting as well, whenever we input any prompt or the instruction, it is converted into tokens, and then it starts embedding. So the same concept is happening over here. And then we have to select. So this Pinecone has two extra directions or extra path. So one is to select the embedding, and second is to select the document. Here in embedding, so you need to select the model. So you can select any model, but I would say I'm going with embedding 3 small to reduce the cost. And then I have to select carefully the dimension. This is the same dimension which we explained while creating the index. So I just explained here, right? We have a dimension. The same dimension needs to be input here, 512, right? So once that is selected, let's come back. We have to select the second node, document. Under document, this is all about conversion. Like, in Make, we use software like, pdf.co or docrafter to read the content, right? Similarly, in N8N, we have default data loader. So that's what I've selected here under this document section. So again, just to showcase you from the beginning, if I select Pinecone over here, add document to vector store, you can see it's getting created. So it will have two nodes. One is for embedding, which I explained, and in document you have to select the default data loader. That's what I selected here. So just select the default data loader, and here you select the option as binary and load all input data and automatically detect the file type. So once that is selected, we have the option to connect the splitter. It's very important. So if you go here again, this is a new new node I just added. So if I go over here, document, I select default data loader, and I select to binary, and then I select, I can see the splitting. So there is simple and custom. So you have to go with custom splitting, and then in the splitter option you have to select token splitter. This is what I have used over in the workflow. Let me delete the extra one which I created to demonstrate. Let me open it again. So to reiterate, this is the default data loader, binary, load all input data, and then we have used the token splitter. Here input the chunk size as 1000 and chunk overlap as 100. So this gives a better accuracy. You can increase the chunk overlap, but it will increase the cost at our end. So let's make it 1000 and 100, and then we are all good. So now let's execute the workflow so that data from Google Drive will go to the Pinecone. So let me click on this execute workflow. It's running. I'm excited, guys. All good. So it has just fed to our Pinecone. Okay, you can see the document has come, right? So it's all good. So we have the data over here now. So that's about the first part. So the first part is ready, and now the second part is very important. That is how we interact with custom GPT. So now let's go to the custom GPT. I have already explained how to create a custom GPT. So here I have named it as human clone, and this GPT will communicate with N8 and return answer for the question. And we have to give set of instructions. So I provide an instruction like you are a friendly, helpful and professional assistant, and some behavioral rules, and automatically send users exact message to webbook. Why webbook? Let me come back to N8N. So in N8N, we are going to trigger, like the conversation happens with webhook, trigger and response to webhook. That is why we mentioned about, webhook in the GPT instruction. Like you can see automatically send the users exact message to webhook. And then we mentioned about the tone. Let me expand and show you. So we mentioned about the tone and personality, and do not ask for permission to trigger the webhook, which is not possible actually. I just mentioned it. And then skip the webhook for anything except greetings or casual conversation. We don't wish to trigger N8 for any simple questions that GPT itself can handle. That's the idea. So we have set of instruction, and then coming forward you can see we can see an option action. So it's very simple. You can click on create new action and start creating. So let me show the existing action. So it's very simple. So I just created this action where I'm giving this instruction like information title sent to N8 and webbook, and I'm providing a webbook URL. So this is very important, guys. Let's go back to N8 and come back to this precious part. So in N8 we started with webhook trigger, and when we start with the webhook trigger, we have test URL and production URL. So if the scenario is live, you can copy the production URL and just copy it and make it ready. So what will happen whenever we go for a conversation with custom GPT, this module will trigger, and then we connect to AI agent. I hope you remember my AI agent tutorial. So in the AI agent, it's very simple. So we are mapping the input message that comes from the webhook, and then we are giving a system message. So this is a system message. Your MScholar's friendly AI assistant designed to chat like a thoughtful, polite human. And then we are giving set of instructions, like be polite, friendly, avoid hallucination or assumption. If Pinecone returns no result, politely mention that no specific match was found and offer to assist in another way. So we just input the system message, and then we have to input the chat model. So the chat model is, again, we have connected our OpenAI account and selected GPT-4o mini. It's very simple. And then let's come back. Here we have the memory option. So I'm just providing memory as just a random key, like 1 2 3. You can put any key, so it will store the memory under this key. And then again, one more very important thing, we can configure it to be very dynamic as well, like a dynamic memory using chat ID option. So that's something you can explore, and if you have any question, let us know. And then in the tools section, we are connecting the Pinecone. So in the previous flow, we have connected Pinecone to insert the document. Here we have connected Pinecone to retrieve the document. Under the tools section, you can connect Pinecone vector. Again, here select the operation mode as retrieve the document. Very important. So go with retrieve document and select the right index. Our index is Jahar database, and provide a limit of 4. So what does it mean 4? So there can be a lot of matching result based on our search criteria. So we are asking to retrieve only top 4 to the AI agent, and then select the embedding. So in embedding, again, you can select the test embedding 3 small option with dimension 512. All right, so we are all set, guys. And finally, we connect respond to webhook, where we give a reply in the body, and this is the JSON body I'm providing to provide the reply from AI agent. Guys, the keyword reply is also important. So to show its relevance, let's come back to ChatGPT. So here you can see I have provided this schema to make this functioning fine. So what is happening? I just input the URL, so the protection URL of the webbook, and then I'm saying send client data, where I'm providing a keyword message So this is a message that goes to the webhook in N8N, and the reply which I shown here, the reply keyword, you can see over here, reply. See this? Reply. So now the question is, how did I generate the schema? It's simple. I asked ChatGPT with all this prompting. You have to provide the role, context, and the what is the expectation. Tell that you need a schema for your custom GPT, and the ChatGPT itself will provide you the schema. All right. So once that is done, yeah, just set it up. All right, and provide your privacy policy, and then you have your human clone ready. So now let's go and start testing. Hey there. So here in this case there is no trigger going to happen, so it's just a warm welcome reply. Hey, how is everything going with you? Why? Because we already mentioned we don't have to trigger the action for any greetings. Now what are the products? So I just trained our Pinecone with our knowledge database, where I fed the products of our company. So I'm asking, what are the products of M-Score automation? See here, it started human clone. That is my GPT name. It wants to talk to our N8N agent, so I just click on confirm, and now it started talking. Let's go to the history. So if we go to the executions, see this, it's running. Cool guys, it's running. I'm excited. Now it succeeded. We would have got the result over here. See here. Great question. M-Score automation solutions offer a variety of products, and these are the services, these are the products, these are our custom apps like LinkedIn custom app, Gmail advanced app, YouTube automation app, Doc Crafter, Instagram auto reply bot. Awesome guys. It's creating a GPT clone of the knowledge base that we provide in our Google Drive. Now imagine you provide all the documents, all the meeting transcript to this Google Drive. What will happen? What will be the result? And again, there is another important thing. You can automate this further step, like you attend meetings and the meeting summaries, meeting transcription go directly to this folder and train the Pinecone in a better way to reflect your own clone. That's it. I just created a clone that can handle everything. Now I can go on a vacation and the clone will take care of the rest.